All right, welcome to the Wrestling Wrap. It is Breaking Ground pre-show time. Once again, joined by the incomparable Sean Marcinik. And we're going to go ahead and break things down. We want to review where kind of things sit as we go into this game-changing Breaking Ground. So let's talk a little bit about Luck of the Brawl, which we crowned new RWF Tag Team Champions, the Dudes. And they are kind of letting everybody know that they don't think anybody in Reno is worth their time.
Big Don Stockton and Arsonist have no respect for the locker room right now. They don't think anybody's going to stand in their way when it comes to competition here at the RWF. Well, you better not underestimate the talent that's in that locker room, because you know it as well as I do, Dale. There are some people out there, and they're ready to rock the boat.
So we're going to hear from the new RWF Tag Team Champions. They didn't even feel the time to cut a promo in Reno. They cut it back at home. But here is Arsonist and Don Stockton about becoming RWF Tag Team Champions.
Hey, yo, Big Don Stockton.
What's up, Nyst?
What happens when two dudes from California step into Reno and take on their tag team champions?
Hey, I know what happens. Yeah. This is what happens when two dudes from California show up in the Reno Wrestle Factory. You want to know what happens? Hey, we take that. We take that. Doesn't matter where we go. The dudes will always take over.
See, that's what we do. We don't come to take part. Just like Conor McGregor said, baby. We came to take over. We came into the Reno Wrestle Factory, stepped to y'all tag team champions, and took them out the game.
Say that.
So when we come back up there, you better believe we gonna do it again.
Doesn't matter if it's the Dilfs again. Doesn't matter whatever tag team Reno want to throw at us. Because guess what? It's California. And these Reno Wrestle Factory titles are going to stay here.
All right, and obviously right there you kind of heard it from their voices themselves. Yeah. No one in Reno is worth their time, but we do have someone that decided to answer their challenge here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Buck and Bay seem like they're up for the challenge tonight. They have been on a roll this year, 2025. They're looking to, maybe get a title shot, maybe win some gold. Let's see what happens with Buck and Bay answering the challenge from the Dudes.
And they even had some comments for the Dudes themselves.
You know, Reno's a long way from California, and we like to represent California, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely. Even our hometown, Red Bluff, we love to represent it. We love to make them proud. But there's a couple of guys who also made the trip with us. The Dudes. The Dudes who became the RWF Tag Team Champions. And they have the gall to say they're better than this place? This place is amazing.
Listen here, Dudes. I bet you weren't expecting us to be the tag team that answered your call, but it is. Tonight, we take home the RWF Tag Team titles, and you go home losers. Let's go, Buck. Let's do this.
And obviously, all right, so one of the big things coming out of Luck of the Brawl also is a little controversy between one of the talents, Zach Primetime Reeb, and a referee, Gene Eric Cody, because they're not in agreement on how that match ended. That saw Zach come out on the wrong side of things. And so Zach had this to say about what his plans are for Breaking Ground here tonight.
We're on. Red light. Good. Because I asked for this time because I wanted to talk to the fans of the RWF. The fans who I think might be the most intelligent people, more intelligent than the wrestlers in the locker room, and especially more intelligent than the referees that officiate the contest. See, if I don't win, I don't make money. If I don't win, I don't move up, and I don't win championships. I don't get shots, things that after all these years I deserve. And an injustice happened last month here at the Reno Wrestle Factory. So tonight, Zach Primetime Reeb will not be wrestling. Oh, no, 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 no. Surprise, surprise. The man who has his referee license has now been licensed not just in the state of California, but licensed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and I am now on the RWF reffing staff. And senior official Cody Wilson, there are simple rules to professional wrestling, rules that the fans seem to know. When you have a wrestler caught in a submission hold, whether he grabs a hold of a rope or he even touches that rope with the tip of his fingers, you break the goddamn hold. Here's the problem. Whatever it takes, I'm coming out here tonight, and I'm here to prove a point. That there are rules and there are regulations in this business. That's why they're there. That's why the book is there. And tonight, I'm going to call you out to the ring, and I am going to make you sit in one of these chairs, and I am going to show you. I'm going to demonstrate how a professional wrestling referee calls the action fairly. Cody Wilson, get your big boy pants on, because tonight you're going to school. What time? Prime time. Let's get it out of here.
All right, and there you heard it from Zach himself. Is like not wrestling tonight. Instead, he's going to be a referee.
It sounds like Mr. Primetime Zach Reeve has a huge issue with our senior official, Gene Eric, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as the night progresses.
All right, and as we look back on Luck of the Brawl, setting up a rematch here tonight, Sergio Santana and fan favorite Jerry Gigolo, things kind of didn't go right in that ending if you ask everybody but Sergio. If you ask Sergio, nothing went wrong, and here's what he had to say about that finish.
Let me know when that camera's ready. We're ready? Here, this message right here is for Jerry Gigolo and anybody else in the RWF who wants to challenge Sergio Santana, wrestling superstar. First of all, Jerry, I beat you fair and square. In that ring, nothing else matters but the end result, and the end result was Sergio Santana, wrestling superstar, getting the 1, 2, 3. And tonight, you want a rematch? You went to complain? You went to complain to management that you want a rematch? Well, history will repeat itself. 1, 2, 3. Jerry, you're going down again.
All right, so yep, we got it right there. It's like we will in fact have a rematch between wrestling superstar Sergio Santana and Slammin' Jammin' Jerry Gigolo. We will in fact see if Sergio can in fact get that 1, 2, 3 for a second time. Well, maybe this time actually clean.
I'll tell you this, Dale. Whether there's controversy or not, whether you feel like this thing's embedded in controversy, it still counts as a victory here in the RWF. Sergio Santana indeed got the 1, 2, 3 against Slammin' Jammin' Jerry Gigolo, arguably the most popular superstar here in the RWF. So that's a huge accolade for Sergio Santana.
One more Luck of the Brawl recap that we want to touch on. Still, your RWF Nevada State champion is Travis Alexander with his first successful title defense against Serza. And he also kind of feels like, I don't really know where the rankings sit in terms of his next opponent. He is scheduled to make give his thoughts on the rankings here at the Reno Wrestle Factory during Breaking Ground. So we can't wait to hear his thoughts and maybe even in fact get a actual challenge.
I'll tell you what, the top shot Travis Alexander he's in the perfect position right now because he gets to scout every single one of his opponents or could be potential opponents in the Royal Flush Rumble. He's sitting pretty. He's not worried about the competition. He's kind of taking the same stance as the dude. He feels like he's the man here in the RWF, and he's got the title to prove it.
All right, and let's go. I think we got one more match before we get to the main event, which will be the Royal Flush Battle Royal. We've got the Dark Fox Illumide, one of the best peer athletes I think I've seen in the RWF ring, taking on the Last King, Manny Roa.
Absolutely. Yeah, I tell you, Illumide, he is something special to watch. If you haven't been out to an RWF show to watch Illumide yet, you are cheating yourself. Please come out and see this guy wrestle. He is at the top of his game. His execution is like no other. And I have a feeling if I had to make a pick in the Royal Flush Rumble, Olumide would probably be the guy that I'd put my money on.
All right. So that, in fact, now leads us to the main event. What we're all here for. The thing right behind us. The
Absolutely.
Royal Flush
That's
Rumble.
that's a beautiful trophy.
And the #1 contender for the Nevada State Championship.
The trophy, and more importantly, like you said, the #1 contendership for the Nevada State Championship. And you could be the guy, if you win this match, Dale, you could be the guy who changes everything in the RWF. Nature Boy Ric Flair liked to say, to be the man, you have to beat the man. Well, first you have to become the man. And this match right here, the Royal Flush Rumble, this Battle Royal is definitely could be a kingmaker here in the RWF.
So we spoke to a couple of the guys in anticipation of this. I think one of the guys that has to be favorite, just based on how big he is Bad News Blakesley. I don't know who's putting the 500-pounder out of this match. It's going to be very hard for someone to take him out unless if it's in a one-on-one situation. Group effort might be best advised early to get him out of this thing.
Absolutely. There might need to be some teamwork going on here and during this Royal Flush Rumble in order to eliminate Bad News Blakesley. And I tell you, Bad News has got gravity on his side. And will he continue to carry his momentum here in 2025 into this Battle Royal? Because he's been on a hot streak as well. We haven't found anybody yet who's been able to take down Bad News.
No, and not even come close. Not even come close.
Reno Wrestle Factory, you have put an object up for grabs. You have put a #1 contendership up for grabs in a battle royal. You might as well hand that thing to me now. I got gravity on my side. I got fans on my side. It's nothing but bad news for my competitors.
One of my personal favorites here that I'm going to be rooting for is Dickie Dakin, because I feel like he's being slighted a little bit here. He's defeated the current Nevada State champion, Travis Alexander, and nowhere to be seen in the title picture. I want him to win tonight so he can get what I feel is his just due. We're going to hear from him right now.
Man, this trophy looks like a beauty. This is what it's all about for tonight. Well, ever since I've made my debut here, back in November, my very first match was against the champ, Travis Alexander. And since I recall, I'm the first one and the only one to beat the champ back in November. And since the Rumble is tonight and it's for this and a shot at the champion, I'm better gonna test my luck, come out on top for this trophy here. Travis Alexander, I beat you once, I'm bound to do it again. The Red Bull Dickie Dakin is gonna win this nice trophy and come right after you and break that ankle.
Probably the crowd favorite might be Jerry Gigolo, because everybody here loves him. Obviously, if he gets through clean, though, with Sergio Santana, and that is like earlier tonight, it's like it doesn't overexert himself, so he has the energy to make it through this.
Absolutely. It just depends on the luck of the draw with the cards. That's the big thing that we haven't talked about enough is, it all depends, because you want that later spot in the Rumble and any kind of battle royal or Rumble situation where guys are coming out every minute, 30 seconds. You want to be able to exert your energy and hopefully get in there against a bunch of guys who are tired and fatigued. So as you said, Jerry Gigolo is always a favorite because he has the crowd behind him. Dickie Dakin, you said, is looking for vindication. Bad News Blakesley is just a phenom of a man. So at this point, it's really tough to pick a winner. I'm going to go with Olumide, like I said earlier in the show. Dale, I don't know who you're swaying towards. I think you kind of personally are rooting for Dickie Dakin, but, if you had to put money on it, I'm not sure. Who would be your pick in today's
Oh, I think
Royal
it's like,
Flush Rumble.
it's not gonna be Dickey. I think it's like I'm gonna be hard. Find it hard for it to not be Bad News Blakesley just because of the size. But there might be
I think
some.
that's the smart money.
But I know we've got other former champions in there. We got Jeffrey Excellence trying to get back up on top. It's like it's been a few months for him, but it's like he's eager to get that Nevada State Championship again.
Absolutely.
Like, as is Jared Gigolo.
Both former
like-
Nevada State champions for sure. For sure.
It's like in plenty other. It's like what are some of the other names that we've got kind of that we might see in this Rumble?
So we like we said, we have Illumide, we have Jeffrey Excellence, we have Bad News Blakesley. We've got the dude. Both the dudes are in this.
Okay.
So that's one thing we haven't talked about too, is the dudes are going to be in the Royal Flush Rumble. So they've already got a taste of gold here in the RWF. So they might want to become, one of them wants to become a double champion.
So right there, though, so that interesting element right there, tag team, that is tag team champions, but Royal Flush Rumble, only one guy gets the shot.
Absolutely. And
could we see some bickering between those two guys if it comes down to them?
Every man for himself. And if it comes down to it and your team, you guys are the last two people in the ring and your teammates, hey, all bets are off at that point.
Can't wait for the show. I want to thank Sean for breaking it down here on the Breaking Ground pre-show.
You might be the senior official of the RWF, but tonight, sir, I'm going to need you to sit right in that chair because, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be the judge, I want you to be the jury, and I will be the executioner here tonight. I am going to show Gene Eric how to really officiate a professional wrestling contest. John, let's get this show on the road.
All right, there you have it from the man himself. Obviously, if you caught the pre-show, you understood what Zach Reed's role tonight was going to be. There it is again, even making head referee Gene Eric sit in a chair at ringside to watch how he's going to do things. And what better way to start this off than for the RWF Tag Team Championships, the dudes versus Buck and Bay. The dudes looking for their first title defense. Already cocky. As soon as they became champions, they basically said the Reno Sparks, Northern Nevada area, doesn't have anybody good enough for the dudes. And hard to argue right now, as their challengers in this one, Buck and Bay, come from Red Bluff, California, but they wanted to stick up for the fine fans of Sparks, Nevada, and the Reno Wrestle Factory, and try to take the RWF Tag Team Championships from Arsonist and Big Don Stockton. So let's see if Buck James and Zach Bay can become the new RWF Tag Team Champions, or if the dudes get their first title defense. Early going here, it has been all Arsonist against Buck James. Oh, heard that chop. Pretty sure Buck's gonna feel that one. Arsonist sets him up for another one, and that one, I think, topped the first one. So if he wasn't feeling the first one, he's definitely feeling the second one. And then he eats an elbow. And then that drops Buck to the canvas. Dudes have all the momentum. Again, as they look to retain and defend the RWF Tag Team Championships here at Breaking Ground. We got a headlock rest hold now. What is Buck James going to do? Arsonist works the headlock to the canvas. Now, really cranking in that hold. There you see Zachary in his fill-in referee role, checking the chin. says Buck doesn't give up. Legal hold here from Arsonist. Obviously, a lot of storyline going in between both of these ones. RWF Tag Team Championships on the line, and Zach Reed putting away the wrestling tights for the referee stripes to prove a point that he was not officiated properly in his match against Dick E. Dakin, where he says he did not give up, even though referee Gene Eric does say Zach Reeb said I quit, shook his head to quit, no tap out, none of that stuff. Zach Reeb says he didn't do any of that, so controversy between the two. We have seen the comments from Zach Reeb about his feelings towards Gene Eric and the officiating of the RWF crew. And there is Zach right in top of that top rope choke, getting Arsonist out of there before he has to disqualify him at 5. And now, working the corner with Buck James, and behind him, the dudes go to town on Zach Bay. Say what you will there. Tough position for primetime Zach Reeb as he's keeping the illegal man out of the ring in Buck James, but behind him was more illegal activity from the dudes. Zach kind of needing more than the 2 eyes right there to catch some of what was going on right there. Now Arsonist playing with Zach Bay, kind of toying him, letting him reach out as he tries to tag in Buck James, to no avail. He remains in control. He shoots Bay into his own corner, and now Big Don Stockton enters the fray. Double team suplex. Down goes Bay. Stockton immediately on for the cover, but with only a 2 count. Zach Reeb right on top of it, 2 count. Match continues. Headlock hold here from Don Stockton on Zach Bay.
Oh, what happened now? What happened to your guy now?
Reed right in on it, checking. Buck in the corner trying to get the crowd behind his tag team partner, Zach Bay. To get him off the canvas, it does, but not for long. The big bellied up alley from Don Stockton. Buck James in to break up the pin, and comes Arsonist. And then he dumps Buck James to the floor. Buck now trying to slide back in. Well, his tag team partner, Zach Bay, gets tossed into the dude's corner. Arsonist tagged back in. Stockton with a chop. Whips Arsonist in for a splash. He follows, another splash. Buck and Bay in trouble, but still alive in this RWF Tag Team Championship match. Do the boys from Red Bluff have anything left to try to take down the dudes? Oh, there's a big time shot from Bay. Drops Arsonist, both men down. In comes Reeb with the referee customary 10 count, gets the 2. Bay makes the tag. In hot comes Buck James, and he's taking it to the dudes. Maybe one last effort here from Buck and Bay to take down the current champs. Oh, Stockton in with a club. Drops Buck James. Both men down, and we begin that 10 count again, but both men back up by the time Reeb gets to 1. Don't know if he counted on time to get going there, whatever. But then, Stockton comes in, drops Zach Bay, and now we've got Zach Reeb. The referee of the match has left the ring to check on the ringside area of Zach Bay, who's not even the legal participant for Buck and Bay. And that leaves the dudes in the ring with Buck James. Splash from Arsonist. He pulls, Buck James out of the corner for a massive lariat. And then a little double team action drops Arsonist on top of Buck James. The 3 count, and the dudes remain your RWF Tag Team Champions.
You see that? You see what we do?
Let's
Big John
hear
Stockton.
his
That's the Arsonist.
review
We the
from
dude.
head referee Gene Eric on the performance of Zach Reeb in this one.
Mr. Primetime Reeb with 25 years in the business. You saw how he lost control, how difficult it is to be a referee and to make those judgment calls. How many times, Mr. Primetime, did you lose control in there?
We're taking these things right back to California where they belong, baby.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Wrestling Wrap. I'm Dave Clifford. Next week, more action from Breaking Ground. See you then.